Welcome back. Okay, and in this tutorial, we're going to get started setting up our theme, the basic website. So you should be logged into your dashboard and you'll see whatever your site title is named. And again, the first thing you'll want to do, if you haven't done so already, is to select Appearance and Themes, and you'll want to select and activate the one-page theme. If it's not activated, then you'll see the option uh, to activate be highlighted. In my case, I'm showing the one-page theme as my active theme. So the next thing I want to do is to go under my settings and general, and I want to make sure those settings show everything that I'm going to want shown on my home page, such as the site title and my marketing tagline. I want to make sure my time zone is set. Chicago is the time zone that I'm in. The date format, you can leave it just as it is. And the week starts on Sunday. Then click Save Changes. Next, under Writing, this is for your post categories. This is only applicable for websites that will contain a blog where you have categories for your articles and the types of articles. You will list different types of categories using this menu option, and you can select a default post category. Normally, I will select articles as my default post category, and I save those changes. But for the one-page theme, we can ignore this section. The next section, the reading section, this is if you're going to use the Divi theme or one of the other themes, and you will need to set a static home page. And the way you do that is by utilizing um, a tutorial that I've already written for you on the website for the Divi theme tutorial. Now this tutorial is applicable no matter which kind of theme you use. There are a couple of basic settings you'll need to set besides the ones I'm just showing you, and that is setting up your website home page and your blog page. This shows you exactly how to set that up. I'm not going to read through that, but I just wanted you to know where this article is under Divi theme tutorial, and you can see it if you're logged in. Okay, next, after you have selected your reading settings, then you're going to go to um, your discussion, and you're going to turn off comments. You do not want people writing comments on your website because that's how you get a lot of spam, and it takes a lot of knowledge about security to prevent that. There are plugins available to prevent spam, but many of them are not good. So the best policy with WordPress is to not allow people to write directly to your website or blog. So we're going to fix these settings. Uncheck, enable, and I always check. Just make sure your settings look like this. And this way no comments should ever show up. I'm going to uncheck allow people to post comments, allow notification. Okay, so uncheck the top three. Make sure your other settings look like this page. And then I'm going to click Save. Okay, media, there's nothing that needs to be done under the media. permalinks section, that should be automatically set up for you here, but in the event it's not, this is good if you're creating pages. Um, Select post name and it will automatically update the custom structure for you and click Save Changes. This is just a standard thing you would do no matter what type of website for WordPress you're setting up. Now, to edit the settings for your website, we are going to go to the settings that allow us to customize your theme. Okay, and the way we got here is under, I'm going to exit out because I was already here from before. So under Appearance, you want to select Customize. Okay, and then we're going to edit the settings that are presented on the left side of the window. You should be able to see those settings update immediately depending on how fast your internet connection is. Now, because I'm recording, it's going to be slightly slower than it normally would be, but you'll still be able to see settings that I make in the meantime. Okay, so we're going to leave the first section where it says you are customizing your website name and active theme. Um, you're able to change your theme here, and that's default for every WordPress installation, so it has nothing to do with the theme. The theme specific changes you want to make begin right here where it says site identity. You want to make sure that your site identity says has your site name or your website name and your business tagline, your marketing tagline. If you want to display a logo, leave this item unchecked. If you want to display text, then check this box. You'll see it change and it'll show your site title and your tagline. Okay? Now, the select image for the site icon, this is for when you save the page on a mobile device. It saves it as an app icon on your phone or your mobile device. So whatever icon you would like to use for whenever you're saving it as a shortcut on your phone, then you would upload it here. And the logo is uploaded in another place. So um, I'm going to uncheck this, but as you can see, it changed to text instead of the logo. So if you don't have a logo or haven't had one created, then use your site title and your site tagline. Okay, I'm going to uncheck that and it'll go back to the default logo. We're going to exit by clicking this arrow and it's going to take us back to the main menu of options for the theme. Okay, we are going to look at the sections sorting. You have the ability to sort each of these sections in any order that you want. Currently, the slider is first, the blog and news section is second, and then you have a 4-column area followed by a video section. Well, you might want the video section to show at the very top. So then what you would do is get the 4-headed arrow by hovering over the 3 lines on the right and dragging it up above the blog section. And then now your video section becomes the very next section after the slider. Notice the slider was in a different area. And then when you want to reorganize this again, notice there's not a place for you to drag and drop the slider. The slider will always go at the top. Okay, so now you see the video section as the very next section of the page. Okay, so if there's a section, for instance, that you do not want to show, for instance, I have unchecked the testimonial section. If I want to show the testimonial section again, I just check it. Anything you want to hide, remove the checkbox and it will be hidden from you. Okay, so now let's go back to the slider, how to edit the slider. We're going to leave the typography because that comes with the Pro feature. The home page custom section is a Pro feature. And the theme settings, we don't need to edit this section either. The menus, I want to talk about those briefly before we go to edit the slider. The menus are already set for you by default. My recommendation is to leave the menus just as they are. However, if you are a little bit more advanced and want to change any of these, there is a place under Appearance called Menus that you can edit, and you can add a new menu with new options and new places to link. For instance, if you wanted to link to a different page that told more about your product or service. And that's where you would, this is the section that would allow you to do that. But that is beyond the scope of this video, so it will be in a separate video that you can request, you know, if you actually need that. So let's move to the next section. We're not going to cover widgets. We're going to go to the header section. Okay, the header section has header settings. This is where you would place your image for your logo. You would select it, and if there's none selected, of course, you're going to get this default logo. And it'll show up right here. So just make sure your logo is not taller than 100 pixels. I would say, to be on the safe side, 75 pixels and 300 in width, and that should fit perfectly for a logo, whether it's on desktop or mobile. The top header strip, this is where you can put your social media icons, and this will have to be a separate tutorial where you can edit the icon, which is here. There's a link called Font Awesome, or a page called Font Awesome, that has a list of links that you can copy the code and place it here to change the icon that would go here. And in this case, this is the code. I'll show it to you real quick. Just type in Font Awesome, and it should be the first search that comes up. And in order to use Font Awesome, they have a cheat sheet, and you click on the link that goes to it. And examples. You want to go to examples, and it should give you a list of icons. Actually, the list of icons is probably going to be under the list called icons. And here they are. And so for any of these icons, the code is listed right next to them. So for instance, for mail, envelope open, then you would type FA space envelope open, just like you saw over here in the customized area. FA and then FA phone for the telephone. But that's all there is to font icons. If you have social media links like Facebook, it lets you put Facebook, enter your Facebook URL, your Twitter, your Google, and your RSS link in these areas. I would recommend at least entering a Facebook account. And what will happen is the other icons will disappear if you do not have an account for them, and you'll only get the icon up here at the very top for the ones that you have um, an account for. So then LinkedIn is a good one to use as well. When you click Save and Publish, it will update everything that you have added to this point. Okay, and that covers the top header. I'm going to click the back button. You also have the ability to change the color settings, and this is where you would do that. I'm not going to go into great detail here, but as you notice, you can change the header background color, the logo text color. You will only see the text color change when you have the logo option unchecked in the very first setting under branding. And then you can change the background color of the top strip. Right now is set to black like it is here. And then you can change the call us text. You can change the call us icon color. Right now they're both white. And the menu list text color, which is black. So if you'll notice, this is very visual. If I change the menu text color to, let's say, red, then you're going to see that change. I'm just going to click somewhere else. And there's the color. It's changed. Okay, and notice the hover color is gold. I can change it also to red. Okay, and so that changed. Now I'm going to save and publish again, and I'm going to go back to edit another section. Okay, so I'm going to go back one more time, and this will take me out of the header section. Now I would like to update my slider. That's the first thing you'll want to do. Remember, we talked about the slider having to be a certain width and height. The slider width and height is going to be 1000 by 489. You have the ability to add 5 sliders. In this example, we're only going to add 1. You select slider number 1 to edit it, and I'm going to scroll back to the top of the page so I can see my changes. Okay, so right now we're showing the default slider. I'm going to select an image which I've already prepared at 1000 by 489. It's already uploaded, and I'm going to select that image and add it. Give your image a title like Datsun 280ZX or Nissan. Give it both the title caption and alt text, because you're going to want people to be able to find you, and you're going to want people to be able to access your pages easily if they're visually impaired. Those give a description to people who are not able to see images on their computer screen. Um, for instance, people who are blind, it would actually read that text for them. Now, if you try to edit this section, let's say you didn't have a background image and you try to edit this section and change the caption for the slider, then it won't work for you. The only time it'll change is after you have updated the image. So you have to update the image in order to be able to make any additional changes. Okay, and so that's pretty much it for the slider. I changed the button text to learn more. Okay, and I added a link for the button, and this is where the button will link to. Now let's take a look at what we have so far. Okay, so far we've updated the very top header strip, the logo area, and the slider. Okay, so if we click services, it links us down to this section. If we click pricing, it links us down to this section. Now, if you wanted to take the pricing section off and not have a section like this, then that is a good example of when you would update that menu and you would just remove it. I'll show you where the menus are located. Menus, if you're on the home page, and it'll take you right there. And this menu by default may not be selected to show as the front page menu, so make sure to check it here. And if you wanted to remove any section, you would remove it from here. And that is how you would update or manage the menu. You can alternatively find this menu under Appearance, and a link for the menus appears right here. Okay, let's go back to Appearance and Customize. We'll walk through the next sections, and we won't necessarily edit any of these. I just wanted to show you quickly how you can get up and running with this tutorial. And if there's any questions, you can always send a question by way of the support channel, and we will be happy to answer your questions. Just go through your dashboard and you can send a question about how to complete your page. Additionally, we do offer customization services where if you think this is going to not be worth your time to do it yourself, then for a fee, then we can customize this page for you. Okay, so the next sections you have available to you are the services section, which show up here. Scroll until you see the services section. I think I passed the services section. The services section are the boxes. Or did I uncheck it? I may have unchecked the services section. If you're missing a section, then what you would do is click the back arrow and go under Sections Sorting. Okay, there's the services section. Here they are. Okay, so there is the 4-column area. So now we want to go back and we want to edit the services section. Okay, and these have icons that operate just like the other icons we showed you using the font icon. So this would be box 1, this would be box 2, box 3, and box 4. You also have the ability to change the color settings. Let's take a look at the color settings. So as you can see, you're able to set the border of the icon for box 1, and notice the box 1 icon is pink. And then the text is black and gray. And the background color for this section is white. Okay, so I'm going to click the back button. For box 2, it's the same thing. You can edit the icon. Notice it's sunglasses. Now these use glyph icons, which are different than Font Awesome icons. I'll make a short video specifically for the Font Awesome and for the glyph icons so that we can easily breeze through the tutorial. So don't worry about these for now. The box heading, then leave the defaults just as they are. Here's where you would change your services title. SERVICES. We provide. That false means it just wasn't edited. And then the box description is this second line. So when it says false, it just means that no change has been made. Okay, so I just changed the box to services. And what I try to do is make sure to provide the same amount of text so that there will be some kind of consistency. So for now, I'm just going to delete that, and it's going to automatically go back to default, to whatever it was for default for the box. Okay. Now, the 4-column feature area title, the heading settings are going to be here. So because we haven't changed anything, I'm changing the 4-column feature area to a new to read services we provide, and I'm changing represent your most important business services here to a short description. And that is updating. Okay, save and publish, and now we can go to the next section, the testimonial section. You can edit it. What you end up doing with the testimonial section, the same thing is pretty much the same. You just fill in the boxes for each section. So for testimonials, there's a heading that you can set, a main heading. It says testimonial section by default. If you change it here, it'll say something else. To change the lorem ipsum text, you'll edit it here, and then you'll go back to the menu for testimonials, and you have 1, 2, 3 options for testimonials, and you'll enter an image for a picture. Make sure the picture, so that it fits properly, make sure it's perfectly square, and then you can add the image to this area. I would recommend 200 by 200 in the pixels, and then the author content is the lorem ipsum, or the testimonial content. You enter it here. The author name, whoever the person is providing the testimonial, which is Anders, you would place it there. And that edits your testimonial section. You also have the option to change the colors in the testimonial section as well. Now we're going to go to the next section, which is the pricing boxes. This is good if you have packages, for instance, websites or hosting have packages, and you can edit all of that information here under the pricing section. You got pricing box 1, well, you have the header, you have the pricing box 1, pricing box 2, pricing box 3, and you have spaces to enter all of the information as well as the ability to change the colors. If you don't want this, then make sure to go back under your section sorter and you can uncheck it to not show it. So here's what the boxes look like, as well as the glyph icons that you would use. So this is using a glyph icon shopping cart, and that's the pricing box. Single plan, price 1, $59, unlimited access, 20 gigabytes of storage. So if you go down, every line has a space to enter the text. Okay, so that is it for the pricing section. The next section is the team section, which is the same as the testimonial section, pretty much. So under the team section, make sure the images are perfectly square as well. I would recommend 200 by 200. And the team member is going to be under team section. So you can edit the heading again, and you can edit the description of the heading right here. Then team member 1, you can add the image here, select the caption text, you can add the name and their title. So the team member name and their title, and you can also add icons for their social accounts: Facebook, Google, Twitter, and LinkedIn. And lastly, we're going to cover the contact section. We didn't cover the video section. We'll go back to it. We're just going in the order that we fell. Okay, so now go back again to get down to the contact section, which is the heading section again, the description, and the settings. Send button text, you can change that. And the map, you go to googlemaps.com, maps.google.com, enter your address, and Google will give you code that you can cut and paste into the second box. Let's just select a place. Okay, that's the map, and you want to share or embed the map, you click Embed Map, and it gives you the code right here. The iframe code is what you want to copy, and you'll paste it. You can select small, medium, or large. In our case, I selected medium, the default, and we take that code back over here to the map and paste it in. I'm going to click Save and Publish. Okay, so it changed. Now, back to the video section. So for the video section, which remember we moved it to the top, you have a header again, you have a description, and you edit both of those here. My company video. This is an intro to my website. Okay, so now I have a main heading and a subheading. That will change. Okay, then we're going to go back. The only thing I need to do is add the video. So I'm going to select a video I just created. And I'm going to click the embed code under share, and I'm going to copy it. Now you can also change the sizes of the video. I'm going to paste that video here. Right now the width is 560. I'm going to change it to 720 by 400. I'm going to say 415. And then that's going to update my video. I'm going to click Save and Publish. And so just in that short amount of time, I have a completely different site. Now, I can change the phone number. I didn't do that. But as you can see the changes live there. But if I exit out and I go to the home page of my website, then we have just completed a full website in a day. Now, this isn't perfect, and this is well under an hour, but this gives you an idea of how quickly you can put your page together utilizing the one-page theme. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact us. And please look forward to more video tutorials for other themes that we provide on this site. Thank you for watching.